weed guys. You know, it was Suge's gang. It was, you know, or Suge was involved in it. You know, but if you know the mob was just a small gang. You know, on the east side of Compton, and I guess that was where that's where everybody started to congregate, and that's where they spent all of their time. Yeah. You know, it wasn't, Bloods aren't bad. That's the funny thing. Bloods are cool. Bloods are hustlers. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The way the mob was, they were about money. They weren't really about, you know, being gangbangers and going out in the streets and hurting people. They were really just about money. And then they were like the dark guys. It was like Suge was more personable. Let's see, and nobody knew them. They were like the dark guys. It was like Suge was more personable.
Yeah. Sometimes it was cool, and then it just became the streets. All the stuff that I got away from, all the gangbanging and all of that, just met me right there head on at the office. You know, it was like, it was hood shit, and you had to kind of be hood to deal with it, because they were in there. Them niggas was detecting fear. They just wanted to see if you was scared, you know, if they could make you feel some kind of way. It's like that energy doesn't go with writing songs. Songwriting is a beautiful process, you know what I mean? And it's a lot of thought involved. You got guys in here gangbanging and shit and threatening you, you know what I mean, and saying crazy shit. It was dangerous, and it didn't have to be. Because it was the greatest record company at one point in the world. It was going to be the biggest thing in the game. But just the ego of the boss, you know. And you never wanted to get on nobody's bad side. It was just walking on eggshells all the time. A bunch of anxiety, you know, bunch of nervousness, a bunch of, you know, people in there playing like they tough just so they don't get punked. And it's like, that wasn't it. I signed up for some bullshit. When I went in there, I'm like, why did I even come over here? I got my own shit. I got my own label. You know, I got my own record company and whatnot. But again, that was dope. You know what I mean? Being in there watching, you know, I used to go to the studio when Dre was working on Doggy Style, just letting us hear snippets of it. I'm just sitting in there with my wig blown back at just the quality of this shit, man. Going on Larry B, like Dre called me up there. They giving me cassettes.
Never thought I'd see Bloods in New York. And they there. Baltimore. One of my, you know, I come from Treetop Pyru. And they got Treetop Pyrus in Baltimore. It's like, wow. It's my gang got distributed, not my records. You need better representatives, maybe. I don't know. But it's interesting. The whole landscape of New York City is different, and to want to be a part of a gang, and you know the risks. There's only two ways out, you know, but people still want to do it. It's almost like riding a roller coaster with no harness. It's the element of unbridled danger, you know. So that and the lack of opportunities being shown anything that you think will turn into a tangible, real source of employment for a lifestyle that, you know, it's comfortable. You'll be okay and know, like, I can do this for. I'd never been in a gang. Had we not been getting like threatened by the other neighborhoods. They used to come over there and go hard on us for nothing. I grew up into it. It wasn't like I started any of it, but I was a victim of it just because of where I lived. Right. Regardless if I wanted to be in it or not, I was automatically put in it and made to pay a debt from somebody from my side from maybe years ago. Right. You know, so I ultimately stopped being afraid, and you know, I started getting guns. Like when I was young, because dudes were shooting at us. So, you know, naturally, self-preservation is the first law of nature. I knew that. So I sold drugs and bought some guns and kept my guns around. You know, every now and then we shoot them just so people know that we armed over here. Like we let them out the backyard. Like, ooh, that was close. That's what you hear when the neighbors say, ooh, that was pretty close.
Like thunder.
Yeah, no, you have to give them a thunderclap every now and then to let them know I'm not having it no more. Y'all not going to be chasing me from the liquor store. Y'all not going to be shooting at me at the swap meet. Y'all not going to be trying to rob me from the record store. Like, I'm going to kill y'all niggas. Do you still have to just let people know, even at this? No, it's almost like, yeah, it is what it is. There were things that happened that are under the table that are done and past. Where I got my bones. You know, I ain't got shit to prove when it comes to street stuff. I paid my dues, like, you know. And again, I would have never been in the gang if these dudes wouldn't have kept trying to bully me. You know, and it wasn't Bloods or Crips. It was just me and these fools. You know what I mean? I just so happened to be on the blood side of the neighborhood. Where you make music now without that pressure? Don't bring 10 guys and they come in there and look hard, because that doesn't make music. You know what I mean? Like they used to. Studio used to be full of guys. Remember? Mm-hmm. Passing the joint, full of guys. They got a pistol. The big bill at the end with the phone calls and the food that was ordered. Up your phone bill. Calling people up there. No girls. Yeah. No, we call it the sausage party. No girls. These dudes used to come and just turn the studio out with guys. But, you know, now it's like, that don't exist. You got really young, hungry engineers. You got people now that want to work to, you know, help the music situation. Like they're kind of more driven now because nobody wants to see it die. Yeah. So these dudes is learning all kind of new tricks, you know, with editing and, you know, Pro Tools, making it do this and bringing in plugins to, you know, to make things sound new and different. There's a certain kind of hunger there that's going on. I noticed in the engineer phases of music where it is now. I like it. North Hollywood, there's a little big room, you know, with this kid Steve Sletton, Ken Taranzadariasian over at is that a name for you?
No, I mean, yeah.
I almost got killed over Tupac bootleg. I have a machine gun put in my face. Man. But I was still defending him. I'm like, fuck it, do what you got. Just manned up. Do what you got to do. This is what we say. Handle your business. I can't run. This motherfucker got 30 shots in it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just man up and take this shit till you ain't going to shoot me in my back. Handle your hand.
Yeah.
I almost got killed over Tupac bootleg. I have a machine gun put in my face. Man. But I was still defending him. I'm like, fuck it, do what you got. Just manned up. Do what you got to do. This is what we say. Handle your business. I can't run. This motherfucker got 30 shots in it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just man up and take this shit till you ain't going to shoot me in my back. Handle your handles, bruh. You know, but it was in my car, and my security at the time, you know, used my car. And, you know, he's a hood nigga, you know what I mean? And he took my car and took the CD out and let his homeboys hear it. Let me get a copy of that. Cool. You know, but I was fancy because back then, everybody didn't have CD burners. And shit used to cost $5,000. So I'm in the studio proofreading and listening to these mixes, making sure that they sound good. And I would give Suge a CD or Pac a CD, like, you know, it was like I was a little pressing plant in that hole. That was before it was popular. The CD got out, you know, it ended up in the neighborhood at Earthquake Sounds, you know, car shop or whatever. And dudes up there called, Suge was like, hey man, you know, the niggas up here playing the new Tupac shit y'all in there working on. He's like, what? What? So I get a call, hey man, come up to the office. And I already know them death row meetings. When they call you random, like 420, hey, fight traffic, get up here. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be some bullshit, I already know. So we get up there and we confront it. And then a fight started in the fucking death row. It was scrapping and shit, right? So after the fight was done, my dumb ass, I'm like, man, we just got accused of something we didn't do. I'm like, what did you do, man? He's like, man, I didn't do what? I'm like, who did you give the seat? Man, it's this guy, right? So we go over to this guy's house. I'm like, man, let me, you know, I'm sitting up there. I'm mad because, you know, niggas is like, you know, we just got into fisticuffs about this shit. You know, and I never shared this story before, you know, because this shit might get me into another fight. But at this point, I don't care. I'm like, you know, this guy did it. So he's talking to us. He came down the street. He's talking to me and Donnell and shit, you know, about the tape. He didn't do it, yada, yada, yada. Somebody else did it. So me and my infinite wisdom, I take off on him. Like, I'm you know, it's some bullshit. I got to fight somebody because we just got into a fight over here. You don't know what just happened. So I fight the dude. And he dropped his Hennessy, and I think he was more mad that he dropped his Hennessy than you know, me actually swinging on him or whatever. So he told his homeboy, he said, man, blast this motherfucker. And my man just pulled out a tech. I just cold. Like, oh, I'm dead over this dumbass Tupac tape. Right? So my man didn't shoot me. My security got the gun from him. Was like, y'all just go head up. So I'm fighting with this guy. then I end up fighting with the other guy, and the other guy kicked me all in the head and shit. I'm on the ground getting stomped and shit. I get up and I'm still fighting this guy, and it's like, man, I can't fight, bro. Help me fight these motherfuckers. Why you got me out here fighting two people? You know what I'm saying? Right. So, and then we had to go to a party that night still, like a Whispers party that Death Row was throwing. So we ended up at the Whispers party and shit. He was like, wow. You know what I'm saying, man? Boo, man, you all right? But, it was, Death Row was the single most dangerous record company in the world. But if you had on the chain, nothing ever happened to you. It's like,
it was taboo for your music to get released prior to the street date. It was like taboo. And so they all brought him in the office and took him up in Suge office at K&L Studio. And Suge was like, because he's a Pyru, he's one of the homies. He was like, you got to take a fade with one of the homies. You got to take a fade with somebody in there. So it was like, who you want to take a fade with? And so Donzelli was sizing up everybody, looking around. And so Rock, who's a small dude, short, in stature, he was just like, fuck that, I'll take the fade. And he just went in and bombed on Donzelli right quick. That was the type of dude that Rock was. But I'll let Butcher tell,
Solid as all our dudes. And then, man, big ups to you. Can't wait till you come home.
Yeah, he was from Elm Street, Pyru.
Can't think of an artist. Quik was definitely fake.
Why you say that?
Quik was fake.
Now, I'm going to defend Quik.
Man, we went to Quik House 3 in the morning. He was scared shaking. I mean, he's a treetop. Trayvon knocked on the door. Trayvon knocked on the door. Me and Trayvon, the two softest ones on the crew.
It don't matter. I say don't get it twisted. I ain't never known him for being in his hood to be no bitch-ass nigga.
Yeah.
Me personally. Actually, me and Master Ron used to hang over that way.
Him and Dre didn't like the drama. That's one thing I can say about them.
Okay,
They didn't like.
But you gotta understand that.
They didn't like that.
Should have burned nothing but bullshit.
They didn't like that at all.
And trying to be a bully with everything and everybody.